All right, peace, peace, peace. This is Ifa Nawo, a day of Kepler's Blue Lotus. And so this is Virtual Thursdays with Ifa Nawo, a day. And today I'm going to be talking about deities and gods. But before I get started, I'm going to start off, I'm going to say the Honorable Core, start off with some healing prayer. And the Honorable Core is an ancient prayer, also known as the miracle prayer, also known as the 42-letter name of God. So it's definitely one of my favorites. Whenever I first started out on my spiritual journey, this was one of the prayers that I learned. And it is literally the miracle prayer. It has worked wonders in my life, and it goes across the board. It's a very, very powerful prayer. Simple, but yet powerful. So I'll start off with that. And then I'll do a little bit of tuning forks. And, that's my thing. Just to be calm and relaxed. So, yeah. So I'm looking forward to it. So yes, well, thank you for joining Ifa Nawo Day. So first of all, so the Honorable Core. So sit back, relax, and here we go. So Honorable Core. So 42-letter name of God, activate for myself and those who receive. Honorable Core, Gija Lamika Tatia Tizora, Kabara Naramka Savannah Taharana Nora, Nagabo, Dorshe, Duka Kavaba, Sharim, Bahim, Taharim, Rakame, Tiz, Kaka, Tamin, Galem, Hasim, Kadosh, Buru, Tuko, Nahel, Adateka, Yahi, Lamka, Pane, Sakre, Shadusha Taker, Shavatana, Koba, Ushma, Shatana, Yadea, Takalamo. All right. So that is the Honorable Core, and I would definitely post it on my page so you can, have a copy of it for yourself. And I definitely enjoy the tuning forks. They're definitely very relaxing and soothing, and nice little lunch break getaway. So I hope that you're able to hear these. I don't know, but hopefully. So let's just take in some deep breaths. So we're going to take in a deep breath, hold it for 5 seconds, and then we're going to release. And we're going to do that 3 times. Inhale. Exhale. One more time. All right, thank you. And one more time. Here we go. All right. Bringing in that extra energy, that extra oxygen. Thank you, Priestess. Yes. So the topic for today, so this is what came up, because I had something else planned, but Spirit came up and said, let's talk about this. I was like, yeah. So I want to talk about deities and gods, to work with them or not to work with them. And I'm just going to speak from my experience and what I went through, because I know everybody's journey is different. Everyone is in different places on their spiritual journey. And so I'm just speaking from my experience. I'm not here to offend anyone. But this is just my experience, just to offer guidance and inspiration to others, because whenever you're doing something new, and you don't quite know where to start, you don't quite know where to go, and then it's like so many, it's so much. And so I'm just sharing my experience. And of course, if you have any questions, definitely put them in the comment section, and I'll definitely respond. So just to give you a little bit of background about me, I was raised Christian down south, AME, African Methodist Episcopal. So that's how I was raised. And as I got older, I learned about Islam. So I practiced Islam for a while. I did non-denominational Christianity, and I think and then eventually I learned about Hebrew Israelite. And so I did that for 10 plus years. And it definitely served its purpose in my life. It was very enlightening. It definitely educated me more about the Bible, how to live my life. And, it served its purpose. But it got to the point to where I needed more. I felt like I was at a glass ceiling. There was things that I was learning. It was like, well, you too can be gods. You too can do this as well. I'm like, how? What do I need to do? Because I felt like more needed to be done, more on a spiritual level, and not necessarily the traditional things, going to Sabbath, observing the holy days, observing the new moons, and, doing this activity or doing that activity. I knew it had to be more. And so I just prayed and asked, and, my life just, it changed. And so I was introduced to, I started learning about crystals. I started learning about meditation. The meditation that I learned in the Hebrew community is definitely different from the meditation that I learned from spirituality. And so that was on my journey. Learned about the chakras, and then of course, I started hearing about the ancestors, the ancestor altars, and then I started hearing about gods, goddesses, different deities, and I was just like, whoa, this is a lot. And so I just did it step by step. And so of course, when you have these different gods and deities, they have their own culture, and they have their own rules and regulations and how you deal with them. And so on my journey, just talking to different people, and it was like, yeah, you don't have to be initiated. You can just work with them. You don't have to do this, and you just offer them this and ask for what you want, and they're gonna give you what you want. And I was just like, no, I don't think it worked like that. And so what I did, instead of just jumping into it, I allow spirit to come, to me. I said, well, if a deity wanted to work with me, then they'll come to me. They would show me who they are. And so as I took that perspective, I started seeing different things, just little things will pop up. And I was like, oh, that's kind of interesting. And so what I would do is I would start doing the research. And so I started researching about that particular deity to get an understanding of who they were, and who they are, because actually they are alive. They are just in another dimension. And so I got to the point to realization, look, I will mess up, excuse me, that it's just like creating a relationship. So like if you met someone, let's say you went to a networking event, and they had something of their business that you liked, and you have something of their business, so you would start to communicate. You might text, you might do business lunches, you're going to do something to get to know that person. You just not gonna be like, oh well, give me this right here, or you give me that like that. No, you have to build a relationship, and that's how it is with the deities. You have to build a relationship. You have to get to know them. It's just that they are in another dimension. They are in another form, and so you have to work with them in another format. No, we can't pick up the phone and call them. We can't send text messages. But what we can do, we can do meditations, and we can set up, we can have like a physical altar that is utilized as a bridge to the spiritual realm where they are. So it's not worshiping them, it's not bowing down and praying to them, but it's opening a line of communication. So we have cell phones where we communicate with each other, then we have altars where we communicate with them. And then as we grow and evolve in our practices, then how we communicate with them will be different. We will have that direct spiritual connection, through through meditation and whatever spiritual gifts that you may have. And so that is one thing that I wanted to mention. Work with them, get to know them. And so as you study and learn about them, doing the research, that is a form of getting to know them. And their energy will begin to be a part of your consciousness. And then as I continue to learn, especially when certain deities, gods resonate with you, what I learned was they are an aspect of who I am as an individual. So our physical selves, we are multi-dimensional beings. So yes, we see each other in this dimension, but there is another aspect of us in other dimensions. And in those other dimensions, we are aspects of those different deities and gods. And so they're just connecting to us in this dimension, on this physical plane. Because the other dimensions, they're not physical like we are here. And so that's a whole nother topic within itself. But we are multi-dimensional beings, and so we're learning to express ourselves in a multi-dimensional format. And so let's see. So I did have and I had a couple of notes. But so working with the deities, so I said I was getting to know them, which is very important. You can set up altars, and there's a few there's a few resources out there. So let's say you want to know which deities to work with. Like I said, well, what I did was, I asked the creator, well, show me, allow the deity that needs to work with me, allow them to come forth and let them come to me, so that I know that they are willing to work with me. Because you have to be careful, depending on which deity, you go barking up the wrong tree, they're going to definitely drag you through the mud. So you have to be respectful at all times. And just understand that they're not better than you, and you are not better than them. It's just that they are in another dimension, and they are in a different form. And we're just learning how to communicate with them in a different manner. And so yes, so that's one way. This one particular book, look, as my mind, I know the book is by Ali Myers. It's the Learn About the Deities Through Numerology. So I thought that was pretty cool. So that's a good book to check out. And then there is another book by Tabro about spiritual parents. And that's a good resource as well. So those are the resources that I started out with. And but even before I jumped into working with deities, I even took my time with that, because I came from, yes, deity linkage. Thank you. Good looking now. Yes. And that's a great book. Deity Linkage. Yes, please look it up. But even before I got to that point, because like I said, you know, I was Hebrew Israelite. It was a very restrictive religious practice. And so in my mind, from my perspective, I always want to be pleasing to the Creator. That's always been my ultimate goal. Am I living my life how the Creator wants me to live my life? Am I living my purpose? And so I took my time working with the deities. And so what I did, I started learning about the angels. So of course in the Bible, you know, the angels are mentioned in the Bible. They very purposeful, and they did duties and responsibilities. So I was like, okay. And that's what I did. So I started learning about the archangels. And as I learned about the archangels, not only their purpose, but their purpose within my life. And I just started to realize that these beings are always with us. They're always around us in some shape, fashion, or form. You know, we just have to recognize that and acknowledge them and call on them for help, because that's what they're here for. You know, it is the divine unconditional love. It is love that we never knew that love could be, and it's so beautiful. And so I'm really grateful. And so that's what I did. I started working with learning about the archangels, studying about them, and at the same time, that's whenever I started learning Reiki. And so, because Reiki is associated with various angels and other deities, but it is, so that was a good experience. So that was like a great segue for me from Hebrew Israelite to my spiritual journey. And so as I started working with Reiki really helped me to really see myself and to release the mental bondage that I had, because when it comes to some of these I shouldn't say restrictive, well, it is restrictive. You know, when you look back on it, once you get out of it, you really see, you know, how restrictive and confining it is, and that it is a form of mental bondage, because you think a certain way and you believe a certain way, and if anything is outside of that, then you just discount it. And that's not what the Creator is about. You know, everything on this earth is of the Creator. The Creator made everything, the good, the bad, and the ugly. So who are we as man to put God in a box? So when we put God in the box, we are limiting our own spiritual elevation, trust and believe. And so that's what I had to realize for myself. And so as I continue to grow and work with Reiki definitely opened up, you know, the ethereal channels and the stagnant emotions, even the beliefs. You know, I had beliefs that wasn't even of my own. You know, we have thought patterns, thought ideologies that didn't come from us. It came from our families. It came from past lives. You know, and it even comes from, you know, religious systems that, you know, we live by. And so being able to see what is what, you know, is this my baggage, or is this the generation before me baggage that I'm holding on to? And so all I'm saying, all of this is the part of the beginning of my journey, my spiritual journey. And this is what I needed to do to let go so I can move forward. And so once I did that, then I started becoming more comfortable with working with deities. And so once I came across the ones that resonated with me, and so I started a relationship with them. I didn't have umpteen million, I didn't have 10, 15, 20. No, that's too much. Because tell you the truth, I don't even have 10, 15 friends in this dimension that I even talk to on a regular basis. So, nah. Look, I'm not going to be greedy. I'm not going to be greedy. I'm going to take my time. It took me 30 plus years to get to this point, and I know it's going to take some odd number of years to get to the next point. And it's not a competition, it's not a race. It's our own path, and we're going at the speed that we need to go at. And some people are faster than others, and that's why you don't compare yourself to other people. Please don't compare yourself to other people. This is your path, your journey, and it's about your internal growth and what you have to go through. So yes. But that is, so working with the deities and the different gods, it's a beautiful thing. So as you learn about the different deities and gods, you learn about their culture. You learn about what they like and what they don't like. And you just do it step by step. Now, in some cultures, they do want you to be initiated. But what I have found out is initiation will make the bond stronger, and it will solidify things on a higher level versus you not being initiated. But it's not 100% totally completely necessary. But I think out of respect for that relationship with that particular deity, I think it's something you should definitely consider. Because I know even with working with some of the I guess the Hindu gods and goddesses, which they are so awesome, very, very awesome. They have different mantras, different prayers and chants, and those are very powerful within itself. And it's a process, because you have to build that energy up. But there are different initiations, and when I say initiations, I don't mean like the initiation where you have to totally and completely change your life. But initiation can be some type of like an attunement, or it can it's like some type of attunement where their energy is assimilated into your energy. So that type of energetics is available. And so whenever you're able to do something like that, like I said, it definitely takes the bond to a higher level, but it's not necessary. But like I said, it's your journey, and the main focus on the journey is you. Go within. I've always heard go within. I'm like, what do you mean? Go within. The answers are within yourself, because we are all aspects of the Creator. We're all aspects of the Creator. The Creator is within each and every one of us. The Creator is not up in the sky. He's not out in, the Creator is everywhere. The Creator is within and without. And so as we go on our journeys, we do meditation, and we work with our higher selves, or Ori. Ori is your divine consciousness that is that governs us. And so some people say your higher self, your Ori, your mighty I am presence. And so those are different names, different titles, but your spiritual aspect of yourself. Get to know yourself. And you know, one thing that you can do, because I did this before and I was like, oh wow. And so you can call your higher self into you, and you can actually feel a shift. And I said, so what you can do is, you know, you sit, and I always ask for protection anytime you do any type of meditation, or anytime you engaging with another being, you always ask for spiritual protection. And so whoever resonates with you, that's who you work with. You know, so I work with Archangel Michael. Actually, I am a priestess in the way of Archangel Michael. And so I took I received some initiations for that. So I work with him on another level. But so I call on him and I ask for his protection. But of something that you can say is, you know, Archangel Michael, place your blue sapphire dome of protection around me, you know, for the next 24 hours. You know, protect me from any entity, deity, being, and energy that is not in alignment with my joyful and highest good. Boom. You got it set. You know, if you want to use crystals, that's cool. You know, if you want to sage out your space beforehand, that's cool too. You know, there's so many different things that you can do. That's one of the things that I love about being on this spiritual journey. You know, it's just not one way. You know, people can't say, oh, you wrong, or you not doing this right, you can't do this. No. You do what resonates with you. You know, even working with your ancestors, you know, your ancestors can definitely educate you on this as well. So anyway, I was talking about how you call in your higher self. And so once you put your dome of protection around you, and you just sit in a comfortable position, and you say, you know, higher self, I ask that you come to me now. And you just sit, and you can feel a shift. I just felt the shift when I said it then. I think it's so amazing. Oh my goodness. And then you just commune with your higher self, and you know, you can ask questions. You might not get an answer right then and there, but they hear you, and you will receive an answer. You know, it depends on what your spiritual gifts are. So they might come to you in a dream, or maybe you're listening to you listen to some music, and then a particular phrase in a song might stand out to you. You know, so it just depends on what your spiritual gifts are and how spirit communicates with you. Another thing that you can say is, please communicate with me in a way in which I will receive and understand. You know, you have to be clear with your intentions. So yes. So that's just a few things to you know, to help in regards to working with deities and gods. And even how you know, what I shared about calling in your higher self, you can also do that, you know, with a particular deity that you're working with. Once you get to that point, once you get comfortable, you know, just don't dive into it. You know, work your way up. You know, it's a process, and it's okay to take your time. It's okay to do research. It's okay to ask questions, and you know, and just go about it bit by bit. So, all right, I think that is pretty much all that I want to say in regards to deities and gods. But most importantly, make a connection. Create a bond, just like you would if you met somebody somewhere. You know, you met someone at the grocery store, and y'all really, you know, you click, y'all exchange numbers. And so you're going to take your time to get to know that person, you know, via text, email, on the phone. Y'all go hang out. You have to build a relationship, and you have to do the same thing with the deities and gods. Build that relationship. Get to know them. Take your time. Meditate with them. And you know what? And all will go well. And always ask for protection. Please. Don't get too comfortable. Don't get don't do it. Don't get comfortable. All right, well, you welcome. You welcome. I just want to say thanks to everyone who stopped by to spend this time with virtual Thursdays with EFI. Now, whoa, I did. That's me, y'all. I like that. I like that name. I like how it rolls off. I was like, oh, I love it. I like, thank you, thank you, thank you. So, yes. So if y'all have any questions, you know, feel free to, you can put them in the comment section. I can read the comment sections now. And, or if you just want to send me an inbox message, that's cool too. And so yeah, so let me scroll through. Some might be quiet for a few. Oh yeah, that's funny. Giving the J Emperor a cell phone call. Oh my goodness. If the J Emperor had a cell phone, he would throw it over the cliff. Everybody and their mama will be calling him. Oh yes. All right. Okay. Well, all right. Well, this was fun. Well, thank y'all so much. So I'll be doing this every day. No, not every day. No. Every Thursday at 1 o'clock. And yeah. So I am here. So, you know, my business name is Caprice Blue Lotus. And I'm located in Wilmington, North Carolina. That's 106 North Water Street, Suite 106, Wilmington, NC 28401. And then, of course, my website is capricebluelotus.com, or you can type in kblhealing.com. And yeah, so you can reach out to me that way as well. And of course, Instagram and Facebook. I was trying to, no, I'm talking too much. But anyway. All right. Well, Ashe J. Anthony. Glad to hear that. You are so welcome. Well, all right. Well, we are good to go. And if you have any, let's say if you have any ideas or any topics that you would like for me to speak on, you know, you can definitely inbox me. And I would do my best to do that. And because, you know, I'm on a spiritual journey too. I'm learning too. And yeah, we're all in this together. And I'm here to enlighten and impart wisdom to people and be a positive light. You know, letting my light shine. And to help illuminate your path and to empower yourself, and so that you can do that for the next person. You know, because that's how we're going to heal this world, one person at a time. And so what I've learned, you know, it's time for me to share it with others. And whatever information resonates with you, then you can use it, apply it to your life, and you share it with others. You know, we all in this together. Trust and believe. But that's a whole nother topic. Yeah. All right. It's time for lunch. All right. Well, thank y'all so much. Thank you. And so I hope that this message finds you well. And you know, much success to each and every one of you. And, you know, and peace and blessings. And Odabo.